Deb here, your spiritual cheerleader and mentor. Welcome to Great is Jesus in Me YouTube channel. And you know what to do. Subscribe now. And friends, today we have a very special guest, Nana. How are you, Nana? How are you doing?
Hello, everybody. I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. And Nana is the owner of Majestic Pavilion, events and wedding design. And her slogan is where royalty begins. That is awesome. So, friends, I want to share with y'all that Nana is my neighbor. And she lives right in front of me. And we see each other and we wave hi, bye, but we have never talked. So this is the first time we are going to have a conversation. And the reason why we're having this conversation is because Nana has this events and wedding design business. So one day I saw your daughter and she was bringing out stuff and I'm like, wait a minute. It looks like y'all do events. So I waved to her and I said, do you guys do events? And she told me yes. And then I asked her for your business card. And then one day I saw you and I asked you if you would do me the honor of being my special guest. And you said yes. So I appreciate that very much. But also, one of the things that I was talking to you about before, I like wedding coordination. That's something when I was living in Panama, I was interested in doing maybe as a side job. And then when I came to the United States, I really didn't get a chance to do it. I did coordinate one wedding for a beautiful young lady, and she calls me auntie up to today. So Nana, let's get right into this conversation. So share with our friends a little bit about you, your background. We were talking that you were not born here. So give us a little background about yourself.
Thank you so much, Debbie, for giving me the privilege to come onto your platform. It's really an honor. And I also really admire you as a neighbor. I like the way you really keep up your house, the front yard. Anytime I'm asking you, because it's just so beautiful. And I always want mine to look like that. But anyway, my name is Nana Yawudli, and I'm originally from Ghana. I used to live in New York, and I relocated to Virginia maybe 20 years ago. And I started schooling. I went to school at Nova. I had my science degree at Nova, and then I transferred to VCU for my bachelor's as psychology. And after that, I wanted to go back and do my master's in psychology so I can work with it. But VCU has a program that you have to do your doctorate straight. So I was just lost. I was just in that state of, okay, so what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I worked with Rappahannock Community Service Board with mentally challenged people for a while. And but that was not really what my passion was. So one time a friend of mine's dad passed away, and we were looking for someone to arrange the place, make it beautiful. And prior to that, in my house, whenever people come to my house, the way I've designed the place, they always ask me, did you hire someone to interior decorator and stuff? Then I tell them, no, I did it myself. They're like, why don't you get into interior decoration? It had nothing to do with even events, right? So people, and I had like 3 or 4 people like, why don't you get into interior decorations? But that was not where my mind was at that time. But in God's time, he makes all things beautiful. So a friend of mine's that funeral, I took it upon myself to do it. I did it, but not to the perfection of how I will look at it now, right? So after I finished doing it, I'm like, I really love doing some things like this. This is really my passion. This is really my calling. So I decided to look for a name for my business and how to coordinate with. And on top of it, when I was in Ghana, I love collecting flowers from people's yard, those places you can go to anybody's house without permission and you just take flowers and arrange it. So I was really like arranging flowers and stuff. So it just dawned on me that, you know what, maybe this is what I was really for. And I prayed to God that, Father, let your will be done. If this is your will, show me, give me some sign. And God really did give me some signs with that. So I started this business, and I am so glad, and I'm so really, really thankful to God for what he is using me for. Especially, I see it also as a service to people, and I love to serve. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Because the business that you are in brings a smile on people's faces.
Yes, yes, yes.
And joy, because when you have a special event and you get the right person to put it together and you see the end result and the beauty and you enjoy it and all your guests, that is a special moment. So you are contributing to people, to making people's special moments really special.
Special, correct. Yes. I have mostly I work with my girls, and sometimes we get help from outside. But when we are working, I'm not a mother. We are working. Yes, I'm not a mother. We have to make sure everything is really on point, and we have to make sure everything is well detailed and no walking around lazily. I want to make sure the work is done and done right. And if we have time, we can just enjoy the time. But whenever we're on the field, it's like, get it done. And well, yes.
So how long have you been doing this now?
Well, I've been doing this for 5 years now.
Okay.
Yes.
And did you take any type of, because you really surprised me with how you started. You started with psychology, and this is totally different to what you initially started as a profession. So did you take any formal training for this?
It's so amazing that psychology itself also tailors to what I'm doing. Because of course, again, you are meeting people, you're meeting people and you're working for people. So you have to know how to really engage people and how to work with people. For instance, when you go to TJ Maxx and stuff, the people who does those the store, the store arrangement and stuff, right? They stage the store, right? Psychologically, they bring some stuff in front, right? Like the little snacks, the snacks that they have there. So you're just walking, you're going to the line. You don't even need that. But you know how they use the human psychology. You just pick up the stuff that you don't really, it's a snack. You just buy it anyway. That's how they make their money. So yes, psychology plays a very good role with what I'm doing.
Interesting.
It does.
So with your designs, is it something like if somebody calls you for an event, how do you prepare for it?
Okay. So again, I never went to school for this one here. It was a gift that God gave me.
Yes.
And I am so grateful with it. So for instance, if someone, it depends on whatever occasion the person is doing, but the first thing is for you to ask them how many guests they are looking for. So after the guest, you want to know the colors coordination, what colors they are looking for. And then after that, the centerpieces, the floral arrangement. Either they are looking for the full flowers or they are looking for the real flowers, right?
Mm.
Yeah, so all of them, comes up and how much they are willing to spend and stuff.
Right.
So
Right.
that goes with the arrangement of,
Yeah, the budget is very important. They
the
have to let
budget.
you know what their budget is for you to
Correct.
be able to plan
Correct.
accordingly. Now, do you
Correct.
make all the arrangements?
I do make all the arrangement. As I'm talking to you now, I have an event in 2 weeks, but I've started making the arrangements I'm preparing for that 2 weeks.
Mhm.
So yes, I do make that, but it's really time intense.
Yeah,
But yes,
no.
yes, I do make the arrangements. Yeah.
And do people tell you what they want most of the times, or is it you come up with your own design? Because this is a very creative. It brings out your creativity.
Right. So that is where your design comes in. That makes you a designer.
Mm-hmm.
People come in and they tell you the colors, what they are looking for, right? So you have to come up with a design, how to implement their colors into what they are looking at, right? So I get inspired by people's work, but I always like to also put in my own work to it. Yeah. So definitely you become a designer on that aspect. Yes.
And which events, if any, you prefer? Because I saw you have events and wedding. You do parties also, maybe, I don't know what exact events you.
It's my passion, so I really don't have a preference on, but I really do love weddings. I love weddings because being a Christian and relating Jesus was at a wedding and stuff, and marriage is something that God really loves, right? Putting people together, bonding them in one accord. So when it comes to weddings and stuff, I really love it. I love to see people loving each other. And I always pray for my client that, hey, I'm touching your work. I pray in Jesus' name that you guys will not break up, you will go everlasting. Because I think that is also an aspect that people have to also look at. You see some beautiful stuff and you have to know the type of person you want to hire to do your work. Yes. When it comes to something serious like this, you just don't take anybody from anywhere because, this is nice. Don't look at the outward. Also think, and then let God also lead you on that.
Okay. And, and this type of profession requires a lot of organizational skills and also attention to detail. Because Correct. When you were talking about making sure that everything has to be on point, that's very important.
Correct. Like I have a pet peeves with table linens that are not ironed, right? I like my table linens to be ironed. And also I don't like it to look lopsided, When I put it on the table, I want to make sure that all angles are the same. They are just exactly how it's supposed to look like. And then making sure that the centerpieces, making sure that the silverware, the fork is in your left and the knife is on your right, just to make sure that the attention, yes, just to make sure that everything is looking like nice and presentable.
And that is so important, that attention to detail. That's Correct. What makes everything look, when you walk into a place and it is well decorated and everything is just in its place, it makes a big difference. I
can definitely tell the viewers watching that I did not start that way. Because of course, even though I did not take any class, I still study online. Like I look at other people's work, I get inspired, I look at other stuff, and I also use it to also perfect myself, you know,
Right,
use it to
right.
also make sure that next time, or if there's an event that I did and I look at the pictures and I'm looking at, oh, this was supposed to be this way. Somebody without the eyes of me will not even see anything. They'll look like, oh, this is beautiful. But
Right.
I'm the one who sees it like, okay, next time we have to do it this way. It should not be that way. So as time goes on, we still learn from little minor mistakes and we do correct them.
Okay, good. So, what advice would you give anybody that is thinking of maybe going into this type of business?
First of all, this type of business really is like a passion-based business.
Yes.
It
Yes.
is a passion-based business. If you do not have any passion for
And
this
patience.
stuff,
You have to
that
have
is what
patience
I'm
too.
saying, because that's what brings the passion, because you cannot deal with people if you don't have patience. For
Mhm.
instance, table, like my charger plate, some people even take gums and they stick it right under it when they are eating. Etiquettes don't tell you that. If you want to spit out a gum, go to the toilet somewhere, spit it out before you come to the table. We
Mhm.
have to use, they have to use their etiquette, like manners,
Mhm.
to, but you don't get people like that. So there are so many people, sometimes they make your stuff, like your table linens, they spill stuff on your napkins, they spill stuff, you know, they make it really bad.
Mhm.
And as a designer, or as you putting things together, you cannot, because you have to also make your customer and their guests happy. So you
Right.
have to soak that in and make sure, and it's a very tedious work.
Mhm.
Most of
Mhm.
the time too, venues give you just that slim hours for decoration,
Oh
maybe
yes.
2 hours or 3 hours, right? Mostly. So if your client don't buy more hours to it, it's kind of like a tension on you, because venues are also very expensive. So you have to really multitask, work well. Like you have to make sure that you know what you are doing, the role that everybody is doing. It's about quick, and get it done over. So that can also be a challenge. And after events, most of the venues also have another event.
Mhm.
So they give you this slim, for instance, I had an event in New York a couple of weeks ago, and I went to do that event. I went by myself because my other team members also we had two events.
Mhm.
So I took upon myself to do the one in New York. I
Mhm.
carried everything from here to New York. And the good thing was the venue opened the door for me early. I was there at 5:30 a.m. So I started all by myself and I was done by the time the event was up.
How many hours you had to prep?
So by myself, I from, so let's say 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I did 5 hours by myself. The
Wow.
venue gave me that room to do it. And then after the event, um, so the people were giving up to, I believe, 2. And giving up to 2, that means the decorators have to start taking their stuff out before 2. But the people kept on partying till exactly 2 o'clock. So they
Mm.
had to stop the music, everything, like just leave people. So it's also being in this business, you also really want to communicate a lot with your clients as to the timely manner. Everything
Mhm.
goes with time, you know.
Mhm.
So we had to pick everything outside without being organized, putting them in the totes and stuff. We
Right.
have to take everything outside before I was able, and that was too overwhelming. That
Mhm.
should not happen.
Mm.
That should not happen. Again, if you don't have the passion for this, you'll be like, forget it. Now, it's very competitive now. people see you doing events, they think that's all it is about, putting flowers on the table and just that's what it is. But that's not what it is. You call yourself a designer, you want to make sure that you bring something refreshing, not what everybody's doing, something different from everybody, but on the same line. And also, again, it's costly with money. If you want to really have enough inventory, you need to still keep investing money in what you are doing. So somebody would say, okay, this is, you give the person a proposal and stuff about what you are doing. You might go extra miles, because that's what I do. I go extra miles to make it look nice, to make it look very good. So all these things also comes in to, become part of the challenge. And so if you don't have really the passion, you can't do all this kind of stuff.
And you
So,
have to be able to work under stress. You have to be able to work under stress.
Be able to work under stress. Yes. Wow. You have to be able to work under stress. That is so true. If you don't have that, it entails a lot than just putting flowers and charger plates and place on the table for people to come and eat.
I didn't think of that.
Fun job. Yeah.
I didn't think of that, what you said about the time, how much time you have to prepare the place before the event. And sometimes they give you a little short window.
Yes.
Before and after.
Correct. Yes. And most of the time, you never come home with the same inventory. Some glasses break, some napkins are damaged. You can't use it, you have to throw it away. You never ever come up if you don't really look at the time and work accordingly, especially with the clients. If we have time to clean up, you are able to arrange your stuff really nicely without any break, even though there will still be breakages, but not as much. But if you don't, it just gets blown out. Yes.
And I heard you say New York. So you don't only serve Virginia, you also go to other
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. We travel. We've done New York, we've done New Jersey, we've done Delaware, we've done So the northern part, we've been through it all. Yeah.
Ooh, wow, y'all are mobile. Wow, that is.
Yes.
Ooh, wow, that's interesting. Very interesting. And I can imagine when you have to go out of town and do those, all that timing is very important. And as you say,
that is very, very important. Yes.
Communication with the client, good communication, making sure things are clear on both ends. And as you said, understanding everybody's roles, understanding how much time you have to do things before and after. And because this is really about time.
This is about time is the major thing. Time is the major thing. If they tell you, okay, you have from this time to this time, maybe from 9 to 2, you want to make sure that the party is done by 12 or at least 1. But if you exceed to 2, you are putting all the burden on the decorators, the one who came to beautify the place for you. That means we have to take everything. It's not pleasant.
So when you do weddings, you don't only do the decorations, you also do the coordination, meaning that you work with the bride?
It's rarely, because after the event, you get really tired, right? So you cannot coordinate well. But some people take you as 3 in 1, right? That you are the decorator, you are the planner, and you are the day of coordinator, right? Some people take you as the 3. right? Which when it's a very small event, I'm able to do all those parts. But if it's a large event, about 200-300 people, I'm not able to do all those kind of stuff for you because I get so tired. I get so tired, so I can't function well for me to be smiling for your beautiful guests to come in, right? Because I like to laugh a lot and I like to smile a lot. But when it comes to those kind of time when I'm so tired, I don't get to be that nice. So yeah.
So do you prefer any of the three of them? Do you have any preference in terms of any of those three roles?
As I said, when you are a designer, you automatically you become three, right? You become three in one. But depending on the budget of the client, some clients are okay. Some clients actually get florists, they get day off coordinator, they get an event planner, and then you the decorator, right? So some people are like, okay, we don't have money for all these things. Can you help us with that? And I always tell them if there's time and it depends on how it looks, yes, I can help. But if it's not, sometimes it can be very challenging and stressful that by the time you finish with all what you're doing, you are too stressed to do anything, you know. I had an event at Maryland not long ago, and one of my piping for the drapery, you know, when you're making the drapery, like the long drapery, one of my piping, something was broken into it that I couldn't stick it down, right, into the stand. I have so many of them, but I didn't know there was a fault on that one. And this is right by the back of the bride. So I didn't know what to do because there was no way I can just leave the place not draped or not looking good. That was a very big challenge for me. I prayed, I said, Father, Holy Spirit, give me that. And I asked people, can you please pull that thing off? People tried, we tried, and nothing could not come up. So God being so good, giving us wisdom, I used a zip tie to tie the tape, the stand and the piping. I'm not sure if you know what I'm talking about, but anybody in
that business would understand.
I had to zip tie it together, and then I had a chair to back it up so nothing will fall, right? So behind the scene was not looking good, but in front of the scene was like beautiful. So and I was just sitting there. I said, please, Lord, don't let anybody feel like they're taking off the chair, because if they take off the chair, everything will come down to the drain, right? So somebody tried taking off the chair, and I said to the the manager, that is there any way you can put a sign that please do not move the chair? And to God be the glory, everything went out successfully and it was really nice. That was some of the challenge, right? So after going through all that stress, you can do all the other ones.
Right. Well, you know, what you said is so true. You really have to be passionate about this.
Yes.
To get into this business. And not only that, you really have to have a few gifts. You have to be resourceful. You have to be able to multitask.
Correct.
You have to have organizational skills. You have to have that attention to detail.
Correct.
You have to be able to work under stress. And those are gifts that sometimes not everybody has. Everybody has different gifts. So you really have to have all those things for this kind of profession to be successful, you know, for you to be successful. Because the thing is, if you're not, people will see that, you know, that you're lacking in certain things, but definitely in that profession, it as you said,
I
wow.
think with all work, you have to work with passion, right?
Mhm,
Because
mhm.
like if you think maybe, oh, nurses or doctors makes a great sum of money, so I'm just gonna be like that, but your heart is not where it is, you can succeed because you want to make a sick patient very well. You want to
Yes,
make them better, right? So yeah, it's everywhere. You really have to have passion for what you do.
yes, you definitely. So, any last words for our friends?
I am really excited to be on your show, Debbie, and thank you very much. And I thank everyone for watching. And I mean, if there's anybody out there who wants to be an event designer or anything, who needs help or how to start the business, or we are still all learning, and I'm always willing to help, right? I'm always willing to direct people as to where to go and to get the resources and stuff. So if there's anyone there, they can always come to me. And also, please, if you can also go to my Instagram page or my Facebook page as
Mm-hmm.
Majestic Pavilion Events and
Mm-hmm.
Wedding Designs. Please
Mm-hmm.
hit the button, yes.
Friends, I'm going to put all of Nana's information in the description in the event that you have an event and you would like to book her, hire her to coordinate and design and do your event. Or as she offered, if you want to start this business, she can also share some of her experiences with you. So thank you so much for being my special guest on Greatest Jesus in Me YouTube channel.
It's always a pleasure, Debbie. Thank you so much. Hope to come on again next time.
Yes, yes, keep us updated. So friends, remember to go to Greatest Jesus in Me YouTube channel and you know what to do. Subscribe now. Be blessed and until next time.